Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Real. Good morning. This is a 200 minute or so podcast of films that I review of all nations, of all colors, of all times, in all kinds of countries, in all kinds of towns and cities. You request it, I review it. No one requested this film, but I've been wanting to see this film since October, really, like since it was announced that it was going to be um, announced at a Cannes Film Festival for the Palme d'Or, selection, which is basically the French version of the Oscar and the Golden Globe, mixed as one. Anatomy of a Fall. It's a French film directed by Justine Triet. It's a French courtroom drama thriller. Crazy, imagine that. A French courtroom drama thriller. And they won the Palme d'Or recently, which is, like I said, the French Oscar, right? And I saw this film a couple of nights ago, and it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. The first 15 minutes of the film is pretty rock solid. I mean, it pretty much sets you up as to what's going to happen next in the film. It's the perfect first act of sorts. When you see the scene, right, it starts out kind of boring. It picks up very quickly, right? Because it needs to hit that second act pretty well on the gun. And we all witness a murder. And this is not really a spoiler because, like, just this murder or suicide, we don't know, right? We don't know. Even by saying murder, I'm already saying, actually, I'm not saying nothing at all because we really don't know realistically. What we know as far as truth is in a couple of series of evidence through audio recordings. And I love how the director, Justine Triet, pretty much, I mean, obviously, you're shooting the film or like you're going to be shooting the scene and then, just take the audio and play that as the audio for evidence and all that stuff in the courtroom, which is crazy seeing a courtroom in France, right? I thought by looking at that scene alone, I knew for sure that something needs to be bigger than this, right? Because this is the mystery. Like, what happened to the husband? He's laying on the floor, obviously not moving at all. Big major gash, like on cutting like the front of the head to the forehead. It's kind of nasty. You don't really see it, but you see it enough to know that it's a for sure like death of some kind. And he may have bounced off the shed or whatnot, but we don't know for sure if that's really the case because the day prior to that event, the husband and the wife, they got into a serious fight that, we actually don't see, but there is a visual of what leads up to that actual fight that we hear and what the characters hear in that French courtroom. And the way the film was told, right? Because it's linear, right? But obviously it goes back and forth between stuff that is mentioned by the characters as to like small events leading up to basically the first scene of the film. And we're just stuck throughout the whole film figuring out these characters, because we don't really know them. We just know them as to what's been said by the media and what's been said through like flashbacks. There are some scenes, especially like towards the end of the film, we get to hear a lot about this character. We get to really understand the motives as to why the character is who they are. And I gotta give it up to this cast. It's a really good cast. Like the dude who plays the father, he's the only character who has the least amount of screen time, and one can say he's a supporting character, but I would put him in the major character section because, I mean, well then again, like the lawyer who is basically representing the wife, who, because she goes into trial because they think, hey man, you got something to do with this, and the chick is very compliant. I mean, she tells the truth. She doesn't really hide anything. There are things that she wished none of us would have heard, but like that's what kind of like really separates the character from other characters. We gotta like really dig deep as much as we can. Triet goes really in there. She just throws a dart and boom, it's right there. This is what you're gonna find out. And the son is there and he's blind. So literally he can't see anything. He doesn't know how his father died really visually. He only knows that he's lifeless. He's just like right there, and it's sad, man. It's a really sad scene where the kid just happens to like figure out that his dad is dead thanks to his dog. And dude, I gotta tell you, the dog. Look, honestly, this film was on Amazon Prime. I would love for y'all to check it out. If you're a dog lover, I would watch the film just because you're being a dog lover, you would appreciate this film. The dog in this film, who's named Messi, like the actor's name is Messi, right? Who won an award? Yes, an award, dude. You wouldn't think that dogs can win awards, but this dog won the Golden Paw. And you got to give it up to this character because there's a scene in this film where the son sort of experimentally drugs the dog, and there's a scene where the dog's basically like, you can see the dog like appeared to be convulsing, right? And you're thinking like, what the hell's going on over here? It's like, that's a real dog? Is this really happening? And gotta give it up to the director because imagine trying to make a dog, just a dog, a trained actor dog, to play as if you're dying. Really impressive, dude. And then you gotta give it up to the trainer as well. But just to basically, I mean, because that scene it's a couple of minutes long, man. Like, I don't know how much a dog can take as far as direction is concerned, but it's so effective. It looks so real. And I mean, I'm not gonna say this is the reason why I won the Palme d'Or, right, for best film, right? And it also won the award at the Golden Globes for best foreign language film. Crazy, right? And look, this film's not really about the dog, but the dog is a really important character, really. And there are shots of the dog where you can really see the dog acting. You can see grief. You can see like some sort of depression. You can see the dog just be happy and playful. It's really cool to see that, to include animals in the film and not just be there because they look cute. I mean, it's not really a cute dog. I think it's like a husky type of dog or whatnot. Beautiful dog, by the way. But, the dog has a purpose. And it's great to see a film, even like a film that won the Palme d'Or, like to put that dog there and really act. It's crazy, dude. And on all the actors, too, they're great in this film. I mean, you have a kid who's supposedly deaf. I mean, supposedly blind. This kid plays it off pretty well, and you get to see how this kid sort of mans up, because this is a trial film. Most of the film is set in a courtroom, and it's French, and you get to see how it looks and how it sort of works. There's like a main representative of the I guess the state of the law, or the country of the law of the country or whatnot. And then you got your prosecutors, your defendants, and all that stuff. It's really interesting to see how French courtroom drama plays out in a movie, because I've never seen it before. It's pretty cool. And these people are ruthless, man. Like, they just want to get to the bottom of the truth. There are no theatrics. It goes straight to the point. I like how in these scenes you get to see them use multimedia to show their proof, like pictures, audio, visual audio. Really impressive stuff, because we all want to know, did she do it? Did she touch him? Was this all like a mere, like just a successful suicide? Because as we all know by watching the film, not every character is who they say they are. There's some hidden knives under those beds, man. It always sucks to see, like, in these types of films where there's children involved, having to pretty much witness things about their parents that they shouldn't ever know, especially if it's like bad stuff. And it's crazy how a film like this, that is a courtroom drama, pretty much gives us everything we need to know about these characters. I mean, we're not going to universally, you know, embrace them. We're not gonna be like complete haters, but the director did a pretty good job establishing these characters. Like, dude, the chick doesn't want to go to jail, man. Like, what the hell? Like, she's a mom. Her kid's blind. Like, he needs her. Like, there's like, a caretaker there, but you know, the chick is very involved in her son's life. Honestly, I would give it a 3.5 out of 4 tokes. Uh, yeah, man, 3.5 out of 4 tokes. I can't give it the full 4. Honestly, the film didn't really completely move me. You know, Films are not really supposed to move you. It needs to do what it needs to do. But I felt the film was kind of lacking in the fact of the editing. And yeah, why really the editing? I'm like, yeah, sort of, because we kind of like, I wish there was more of Samuel. I understand why Justine Triet didn't want to put so much of Samuel in this film. Like, I get it, and it was very ballsy for her, taking that screenplay, right, and just going like, all right, well, here's what he's going to be involved in, and that's it. And it's not really a lot, but it's very effective. All these scenes with him where we actually see his face, very effective. You gotta be, if you got Robert De Niro for one scene, it's gotta be the fucking best scene ever fucking written, man. Like, it has to be the scene of all scenes, right? Because that's it. You're paying this guy a lot of money for 5 or 10, dude, 5 minutes max, dude. 5 minutes, imagine that. And so this character, Samuel, the lost one, not around so much, but he definitely leaves an imprint. I mean, he is the father and the husband who wanted to be somebody, I guess, and I guess as a man, and it's funny how this film kind of plays life out, because the film's really about how much we sacrifice ourselves into our work, right? If you say, I'm gonna be a carpenter, I'm gonna be a big shot, you really gotta just put in the work and not just be all words. You gotta put in the work, you gotta put in the time. That's how you're gonna get things going, and you'll make it. It's facts, man. There is a secret formula to it, but this is the formula that is for sure spot on. That's gonna get you someplace. It's gonna get you moving forward. And these two characters, this wedding, like this married couple, really plays that subject out. The subject of ambition, and how much time you're gonna put. Does my life revolve around her life? Does she demand too much? Does she want me to play by her rules instead of our rules? It's pretty good, man. It's a bunch of jazz. It's like a boxing match, really. It's a boxing match of sorts. And this character, Sandra, man, really good performance out of her, because you can tell she's a woman who is very emotional, but knows how to just keep it just deep, deep, deep until it's really time to let go. And she does let it go. Anatomy of a Fall, directed by Justine Triet. Check it out. If you like foreign language films, this one is it. Especially if you like French films, this one is it. Characters from a dog, the child, and the men and women in this film who are really good. Go watch it. Amazon Prime. And if you know about the free website, it's on the free website. Did I see it on the free website? I didn't really see it on the free website. I actually paid $6 on Amazon Prime to see it, because you get pretty good quality. You get 1080p and it looks pretty good. That's another thing. The cinematography of this film is really good. Shot so good. You can tell this director used a lot of natural ambient light in indoor scenes. I mean, you're gonna see a couple of electrical lighting there, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it was used off bounce boards, a lot of diffusion. It looks really beautiful. Like, it makes you want to visit the French Alps for sure, in the wintertime. My name is Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. On to the next one. Thank you.